Amen. So Matt, great to see you.
Yeah.
What's your best hope for our get-together today?
Yeah. Man, the internship has been killing me, and I'm just so tired. Goodness gracious. I guess, man, my best hope for me to, I guess, somehow figure out how to finish this internship and not lose my mind and be faithful, I guess, and maybe joyful throughout. I don't know, peaceful, maybe. Yeah, something like that.
Wow. That was really there. So the internship has really got you stretched.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, Matt. Tell me more.
Well, no, it's just a lot of interns, a lot of questions. I think, I show up to campus, most days, and, from the time I get there to the time I leave, just a lot of questions. And I want to do it, I want to train them, I want to love them, but it's just a lot of time, and don't feel like I get a lot of sleep, and Phil keeps laughing at me. I think it's a lot of different directions, trying to keep my head, kind of above water sometimes, and feeling like I want to be able to give my heart all day, but a lot of times it feels like I don't have the bandwidth to do that. I don't feel like I've got the energy to do that. And as I give more and more and more, I don't want to give less, but I feel like I have less to give. And so that can frustrate me. And that can make me get to the point where when the questions come at different times where it was a joy, at one point it actually can become a burden and a stress. Rather, I can get upset with the interns, and they say different things to me, and then things that they just come with great hearts, then I can snap, and it's all that kind of stuff.
Wow, so it sounds like you're being stretched to such a degree that you really need to be, in a sense, spiritually nourished a bit more, maybe a lot more, to be able to handle what is coming your way in the day.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think so. Because now that you say that, I think I have my quiet times and I have my prayer times, but honestly, I feel like they've been rushed and not as deep as I would hope that they would be, and definitely not what they're like during the semester. So yeah, definitely more nourished.
Well, I'm for sure just super grateful that you're putting it all out in the field. I mean, serving God and giving it your all. And it does seem as though that there's something that's working across purposes in what you're doing there. Have you thought at all about what it is that God would really want to be showing you through this, and how it is that he wants to refine you right now through what you're going through?
Honestly, I haven't, but now that you say that, I guess in a lot of these times, he definitely want me to be more connected to him. Because I would imagine, I guess God doesn't want me to have more than I can bear. I guess. To be able to do all this stuff on his strength, and to show how much I maybe rely on myself.
Yeah, I think that's a great insight that you have there. And I appreciate that you're able to step back and really look at that. It's interesting that when you see Jesus during times where he's pouring it all out, for example, in Mark 1, imagine fighting demons until after dark. And wow. It's the entire town. And you're fighting demons. Like demons. Not you, but imagine Jesus going through that. Just how taxing that would be. It's one thing to come home and say, I'm so emotionally drained. I had a tough conversation with that brother. But then the next day, wow, he gets right back at it again. But something happens in between. I think you know what it is. And it says this in Mark 1. Very early in the morning, by the way, he says before this, he also drove out many demons. But he would not let the demons speak because they knew who he was. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Simon and his companions went to look for him, and when they found him, they exclaimed, "Everyone's looking for you." And look at Jesus' response to this. "Let us go somewhere else to the nearby villages so I can preach there also."
That is why I've come. And so he traveled throughout Galilee, preaching in their synagogues and driving out demons. I think you're right, though, that this is what God has got in store for you. Let me ask you to imagine something, if you would, for a moment. You know, we've been studying out this whole concept of Christ being formed in you. And here you see Christ. And obviously you're trying to imitate public Christ with all that you've got. And have been leaving it on the field, as I said. But it does seem as though you're going to have to imitate private Christ to be able to imitate public Christ. And in the end,